right, welcome back to Delta Green Impossible Landscapes with Greenbox Gaming. My name is Joe. I'm going to be your handler for this operation, and I am joined by my good friends. I'm joined by Jean, playing Benedict.
Hello.
Joined by Dace, playing Wingy.
Yeah, that's right, Wingy Potts.
And I am joined... Can you combine Potts and Wright as well? Just Rots?
Wingy Pite.
Wingy
Rots.
And of course by Brad, playing Hank.
Hello.
Yeah. John, did you have a question? Yeah, there's something.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Purely hypothetical. In the mechanics of Delta Green.
I already hate it.
Absolutely hypothetical. In the mechanics of Delta Green, can one learn a skill, any skill? Let's use a skill, for example, like heavy weapons. Could somebody learn heavy weapons to
randomly
get some kind of level of aptitude?
That's so incredible that you chose that skill set like completely at random.
It just popped out. I'm looking at my sheet. It just popped out at me.
Yeah, I mean, right?
I like the flow of the words visually.
Heavy weapons.
Heavy weapons.
Heavy weapons.
Just rolls off the tongue. Yeah.
Cellar door.
I think that you can, according to the home rules or the home scene rules, between operations, you can spend time to gain proficiency in skills.
Other unrelated hypothetical question: how many home scenes can we have in a row?
And how much improvement?
Are you literally asking for? Okay,
for a friend.
Okay, for a friend. Okay, for Dace's question, how many can you have in a row? One is the answer, unless there's a special thing, because I don't know if you guys recall. It's been a long time ago now. The between 1995 and 2015, between chapters 1 and 2, you guys were given 3 home scenes. It's 20 years, right? You know, it's a lot of time. So that's kind of like why you were given that. Home scenes do not take a specific amount of time. You know, they could be a day, they could be a week. Like the idea, like the one for go to therapy. Well, going to therapy is probably going to take months. You know, think about going in weekly or something. So yes, you can have
what
one.
What about
typically.
Instead of therapy, we went to just, I don't know, randomly a shooting range? That's kind of like a form of therapy.
A shooting range that allows... Okay, so in this hypothetical, does this shooting range allow you to fire... I don't know, I'm going to pull something out of my ass. A Maul Juice Browning machine gun.
You stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I'm
That's
thinking
crazy.
M24 sniper rifle.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about a big. Okay. No.
And I'm aiming for about 30% proficiency in a week. Is that possible?
Oh my.
Doable?
No. So the answer is for the purposes of the hypothetical that we're engaging in, and the fact that you guys got all these guns last time. No, it's not a super good. Keep in mind the M2, the M24, which is essentially a sniper rifle, which is a military sniper rifle. That is considered a regular firearm for the purposes of skill usage.
Cool.
And the AK-47 as well?
Yes. So, for the purposes, the only heavy weapon you currently have is the machine gun.
So Wingy will take the machine gun.
We're not even talking about that yet. We're talking about this hypothetical. Wait a second. This isn't a hypothetical at all.
We got him, boys. We got him.
We got him good.
Well, and so basically the problem is like, because we're not really having home scenes right now, there's no way to do that within game terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hank
Good to know.
will take
Thank
care
you.
of y'all.
That was very
Don't worry.
informative.
You also have someone who has a 50 in heavy weapons, which is pretty spectacular. So.
Hank will take the M2 and take care
I
of
have another
everyone.
hypothetical. With my military science, can I improve Hank's weapon? Like, give him an extra... Can I mod the shit? Can I give him, like, a light? Like the lights that you get under the car, but under his gun to make it... No, but it's like Call of Duty.
Wait a second. You're saying put a light on a machine
Neon
gun.
lights. Yeah,
Underglow.
so you can see better. Underglow.
Like it might go somewhere dark.
like
and lasers.
Like ones that pulse whenever you shoot. Like instead of pulsing with the music,
Yes.
they just like doop 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 doop.
It's you in the rhythm of murder.
The murder rhythm. Jesus. No is my answer.
So we're gonna put a strobe light on a machine gun.
Naturally.
Let it be noted, Joe kills my creativity. Okay, this could have been a lot of fun.
Can he,
Right.
at the very least, put decals on it?
You could probably get some stickers like that people put on Hydro Flask. You could probably get a sticker.
Fine.
Put it on your
What about like a peace symbol and next to a born
Born
to
to
kill
Kill.
sticker?
An Arby's hat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fine, I'll take it.
Okay. Have we satiated all the hypotheticals, or do you have another one?
One more. Use Carcosan clockwork to make it do hex damage.
Hex damage?
Yeah, that's a
That
thing,
thing.
right?
No, is my answer. I shouldn't let you guys. We're done with hypotheticals. Especially you two. You two are done. No more hypotheticals for you two. Brad can have one.
Cut off.
I'm saving mine for later.
Good call.
Right. All right. So, speaking of hypotheticals that aren't actually hypothetical at all, the team finds themselves in this house. In this house with all this weaponry. After returning from the night world, after everything that happened in Boston, after being burned by Delta Green, the guys are on the run. After Mr. Wild's forces kind of reaching out from the night world, the guys determined we don't want to do the thing that the Mr. Wild wants us to do. We don't want to spread the influence of the King in Yellow. And I'm not going to say if that was the right choice at all. It was a choice that these guys made, which I think was pretty in line with their characters. And that's the best you can ask for. But they determined that, okay, well, if we are going to... Well, we need to go somewhere. We need to go somewhere I don't know, like, I think it was actually Brad who mentioned, like, we don't need to go back to the hotel we were just at. Like, we need to find somewhere new that, you guys want to move around. And then,
And we also have an APB out as well.
Yes,
So-
I mean, you're literally being looked for by the police. Then Benji, it kind of had this idea of, like, it's... Well, we know these demons are out here. Let's contact them. Specifically, let's contact the Hell's Armorer. Well, and that sounds kind of fun. You guys contacted with Marie J. Malthius, who Benji had identified as one of these demons. And we're given, in a pretty drive-by kind of situation, by seemingly a normal person, you guys were given the keys to a house that is fairly abandoned, fairly untouched, fairly unoccupied, to discover that its upstairs master bedroom was filled to the brim with guns. Or not guns, sorry, with ammunition and a few new guns. And I think that the thing we all need to take away from this is that these demons can be trusted, that the interactions with them never have drawbacks, and that this is something we should repeat on a regular basis.
I mean, it really has
Yes.
worked out for us, in all honesty, so far.
So far.
I mean, the
That
very
being
first
said-
thing I'm thinking,
Go
What?
ahead.
I want to contact Malthius, the other one.
Well, here's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I vote this be like our base of operations for now, because for several reasons, it's like this is the only house in this neighborhood, so we're gonna be able to spot if someone's watching us, in this neighborhood, or someone's driving by slow, and this is where all these weapons are. So if it's cool with y'all, this could be like our base of operations for this foreseeable future.
Yeah, so it's as good a place as any. It's got a garage, so we can hide the jambulance.
And
I don't trust it. Like, Hank, I know you're very excited to use this heavy machinery, but demons just gave us a whole lot of guns, and we're gonna be okay? I don't know. Also, this Malthus character, did you see the image of some kind of humanoid crow on the website for Malthus? Really want to meet this humanoid crow person who cast us down stones atop the heads of conjurers' enemies?
Well,
He's got
we're
nice
in a
pants.
we're in a bit
Very
of
nice pants.
a pickle, Benedict. I mean, we have to find this hotel, which I feel is our main motive right now, and we can't go to Delta Green, and we can't. Or I don't particularly want to do what Wild or Sedfa told us to do. So
Yes.
we have
We
to.
have to go straight to the heart. We have to find the Hotel Broad Alban. That is our only course of action.
And
Okay.
what is this demon's thing? He'll kill people for us.
Malthus.
Builds houses, towers, and strongholds. And
No, that's the one we just talked to, right?
No,
They're
No.
really similar.
they are similar.
Slightly different.
So this one builds houses and strongholds.
look,
You could
if I were
destroy enemies.
metagaming,
Good.
hypothetically, I would have put out like a 50-50 choice for like a really good outcome and then a really bad outcome. But I'm not metagaming. So we could definitely go see the bird creature that throws stones on people's heads.
What?
You also
Well-
have you also have Patricia McSwain's phone number.
You
It should be-
definitely made me think just then. Not quite as gung ho anymore, because that.
What did he
does
say?
seem like
Wait,
some,
what did you say?
Some Joe-like shit he would pull.
To do what?
I just said it might be like a 50-50 choice, and one leads to a really good outcome, and the other one leads to a really bad outcome. But this is just
Talking
to put
about
on the back
the
burner.
demons?
Yeah. But we probably have to just work as the characters, and
Yeah,
we should
definitely.
probably reach out to Malthus.
Well, the only other option we have is Mr. Wild and going through with his plan, which we've already voted against. Do we have any other leads that we can ask about the location of the Hotel Broad Alban?
We just done a Google
Not
search for
really.
this
We
place.
just,
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you do that, you find nothing.
Okay.
and we've already attempted to go here, and there was like no building there, and that's when we went to the bookshop, or the bookshop
Oh.
magically appeared.
I suggested a few sessions ago that we just go at night.
Yes.
That's literally been the answer to everything.
And keep in
Well, we
mind,
tried that. With
and keep in mind, it's in a different city. You guys are in Boston. That's New York. Not that you can't go there. I'm just saying like that would need to be something you did.
That was at night though, when we did that bookstore thing. Pretty sure.
Was it?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
Can Wendy use her demon senses to see if Malthus is like in Boston?
Who? Which one?
Oh wait, of course they would be because the real estate agency is here. Malthus, the TH.
TH is the one you just talked to. You're talking about PH.
We just met, so let's go with Patricia.
Yes, Patricia
Hey.
McSwain. Yeah, you have the contact info, and there's an office, there's an address, there's a phone number.
I say we try it. I mean, I don't really believe in all this demon nonsense, but
Hank, you're holding a machine gun from Hell's Own Armory.
Yeah, it's not a bad
It's-
point.
Can't argue with that.
it says made in the USA,
It does.
right here.
You do
How do you
notice.
think hell is located, Hank?
you do notice that there are no serial numbers. The serial numbers, and it's not just there are no serial numbers like they've been filed away. It's almost as if the serial numbers were never printed on these weapons at all.
Badass. From the source itself. All right. Well,
But before we go, you want to make the call?
the last time we called, we can try it again. But the last time we called, she was out of the office. So I was just thinking I would use that demon sense thing that I used last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we leave, I want to look into the garage.
Okay. You if you go in the garage, you go in there, you flip the light on. You see that appears to be where there's like a little small room attached to it. It's like where there like a washing or dryer would be. There's there's something interesting in the garage though. As you go in, that in the middle, kind of like where you would park, there is what looks to be the remains of a very small fire. Not like a fire that you'd cook on or keep warm with, but like someone has been burning papers in here. And in kind of surrounding this little fire is another demonic sigil. And with all these kind of papers kind of scattered in the middle of it.
What symbol?
It's one you've seen before. It is Marvis.
So what's his name?
How fresh is the fire?
Pretty fresh. I mean, it's not warm or anything like that, but it's hard to say because it's just in this building. But
Marvis was our other handler, right?
Yes, that was Dr. Elias Barbas is the connection we made.
That's weird.
I don't like that one bit.
Is he not dead?
Who can say?
Why would someone? So this presumably someone summoned him again.
Presumably.
Can Wendy use an occult to see if she can glean any knowledge about like a ritual that would have gone on?
I would say that without much trouble, Benji, knowing what Benji knows, if you want to roll the occult and see if you just get something really cool, you can do that too. If you want to do that real quick.
Success 14 under 90.
Okay. You're not sure if the actual ritual occurred. If the entirety of the ritual occurred, or if just for some reason this thing is here. As you kind of dig through the papers, I say as part of that, Benji kind of goes over, or Wenji kind of goes over and starts kind of, there's like little scraps and stuff like that.
So, yeah, this is making me second guess Benedict having this as a safe haven, because it makes me think someone else has been here besides the lady demon that let us in here.
Oh, come now, Hank. It was probably just teenage Wiccans messing about.
No, this is like a WeWork for demons. Shared
no, WeWork. Well, like Benji starts to look at this stuff, and what you see, it doesn't take. Well, actually, I am gonna need a skill for this. What do you think skill you would use to try to put together like tiny little scraps of mostly burnt paper? I get an idea of what they are.
Art.
35 in tedium.
Oh,
art.
This would be a perfect use. Don't you have art journalism?
Oh, he's so happy.
Finally.
This is the moment Benedict was born for.
Oh, I've been doing this! And he's putting this shit together, and he makes a little one.
What'd you...
Fails. 93.
Oh.
Over 63.
Damn, you have that high in art? Wow.
By the time you finish, it's like one of those collages where it looks like you've actually made your own face. Like you've made a picture of your own face out of the burnt.
He's effective. No, he put together a letter. He started cutting everything out, and he made a letter. So he's making a letter to his brother, to Barlow, to be like, make sure Papua New Guinea gets a special bird seed.
Of course.
And he's gonna wrap it up. Like, guys, we need to go to the post office in a bit.
Hank's search failed as well. 69.
Nice.
Yeah,
you you fail, but you feel kind of cool about it, I guess.
All right. If let's give this girl a call. But Hank, when we leave, Hank wants to take the M2 and maybe like some cool ammo for a shotgun, like incendiary rounds or something like that.
The funny thing is, I would say because these actually exist, you have access to regular rounds, you have access to non-lethal rounds, and you have access to door breaching rounds, which are 100% a real thing.
Cool.
Wow.
That you use to blow off hinges of doors, to breach doors.
You said we had there were grenade rounds.
For grenade
around.
launcher.
Are there any actual grenades?
No
Regular
grenades,
grenades?
just grenade launcher rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should pile up as much as we can carry in the jambulance.
And then
Or is that a
torch
bad
the
idea?
place.
It'd be like fireworks, presumably. I
I'm
don't
only
know.
half joking.
Yeah.
Is this a good place
Are you
to
gonna
leave?
Are you gonna call
if
this
we're-
other demon?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay, who's doing that?
Wendy will.
Okay. When G dials with the phone, it dials right before it goes to voicemail. The number picks up. Hello, Patricia McSwain, Remax.
Hello, Malpheus.
Hello, Benjamin.
Oh shit.
Did you how is the abode doing for you?
Oh, it's quite accommodating. Quite.
Fantastic. Sorry about
is
the
there any chance we
downstairs
could arrange a
bathrooms.
meeting?
What? A meeting? I think that is that necessary at this juncture? Is there something wrong with the house?
Quick question. Am I talking to TH or PH?
PH. Not the one you talked to. You worked with my partner previously, I believe. I believe Marie.
I see.
Was working with you.
She told you about the house. Okay. Yes.
I provided the house.
Consequence of nothing. Where's the hotel brought Alvin?
Oh, the hotel. Oh, that's
The hotel.
yes. Give me some type of check. To see.
I would love to, Malchus. It would be my pleasure.
Patricia's fine.
What would you have me roll? Am I persuading, or am I trying to like use human
Sound
to?
I like charismatic.
Yeah, you're sounding. It's sounding like a persuade, doesn't it?
But I suck at persuade, so I don't
Yeah, you
want
do.
to use that.
What about charisma? Surely you have
Just use your
charismatic
raw
as hell.
charisma if you want. I suppose you could use your unnatural. You're dealing with a demon.
You are unnaturally charismatic.
I've only got a 28 on an unnatural, but I never get to use it. It wouldn't be.
You can give it a go.
I'm just gonna use persuade.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
Success. 34 under 46.
Okay. That was an unnatural.
No,
No,
that was
just
persuade.
Okay, persuade. You hear? All right. Listen, Benjamin. I don't usually do this. But I do want to make sure I understand that you guys have an appointment that you have to keep, unless I'm mistaken. That's the word amongst amongst my peers, at least. So I would say that Marbus, you know Marbus. I believe you know Marbus very, very well, Benjamin, intimately, in a way that no one else does.
In a manner of speaking.
Yes. It might be worth revisiting his residence. I hear it too was recently no longer occupied.
Mm. And which meeting are you talking about exactly?
The masquerade.
The meeting?
The masquerade, Benjamin.
The masquerade.
Yes.
Yes, of course, the masquerade.
Of course, the
How silly of
masquerade.
me.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
listen. That place, a little bit of a confab between me and Marie. I hope it serves your purposes. Not on the market yet, so you know.
how safe, how secure would you say it is on a scale of 1 to 10?
How safe would I say this house is? How safe house-ish this house is? Is that what you're asking me?
How safe house this house might be.
I would say on a scale from 0 being the middle of your enemy's encampment to 10 being a nuclear bunker, it's probably a 7.
Quite.
Is that sufficient? Did I answer your question?
I don't know what to make of it.
You're on
It's
speakerphone. This is Hank. If you don't mind me, hello.
Hank Ellis, yes.
Yes. We thank you for providing us with this detail about
No problem.
Marvis's last residence.
Yes,
we should check that out.
King was
That's the one. That's the one with the stabby neck
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, it
that
is.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yes,
Hesitation.
Bale, King Bale said that I would be getting a call from you. I'm happy to help, really.
Well, that brings us to something I was going to ask you. We having a bit of trouble finding this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be happy to help us with the location of the Broad Album?
That is a more complicated question than you think, Hank. I would have to say that I am often in the details about location. But that gets really complicated when the location is what it is. I would say in time that I'm confident you will find your way there.
Great.
Mystical. Hello. 'Tis I. I'm sure you know who.
I'm on speakerphone. Who is that?
Yes. Oh, you know.
No.
You guessed the other people.
I'm kidding. It's Benedict.
Oh, you trickster. Last question for you. JC.
No hypotheticals.
No hypothetical. Pure, straight and forward. JC Lins.
Mr. Linz, yes.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. Is there a question
Who's
in there?
JC?
Well, yes. Where can we find them?
I believe I believe they too might be heading towards the masquerade. Unless I'm mistaken, your celestial bodies are on a bit of a collision course, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Whatever are we going to wear to the masquerade? Patricia, you really must give me the name of your tailor.
Give me a roll. Some type of roll.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Give me an unnatural roll, actually. I want an unnatural roll.
Fuck it. I'm doing it. Fuck. 47 over 28. Failure.
While I would love to give you that
would've been-
information, Benjamin, I think that whatever you bring to the masquerade will be fantastic.
Wendy looks crestfallen. Anything else?
I heard that you're very good at giving good familiars. So it's said.
I've given you a house.
Is
Saw
that a
that coming.
familiar? I was thinking like a little monster truck would be a familiar, or a little dog.
I thought you guys already
perhaps a
had
little-
one of those.
We lost him when we went insane.
You don't worry about it. And to be frank, I am busy. I need to get back to work. But gentlemen, enjoy the house. Keep it as long as you need. So yeah. Ta-ta.
Thank you.
Bye.
Pleasure talking to you, Patricia.
Hanks
So
with the
she
phone.
basically
baby.
just said we could use Mobius's house.
Mobius?
Or
No,
not Mobius.
this house is the safe house,
Marbus.
but we need to go to Marbus's house to find possibly an entrance to the Broad Albin.
No,
or-
is that what she said? She
Yes.
said Marbus. We could she was giving us Marbus's
No,
house as a safe house, right?
No, she just said we need to go visit Marbus's house. Again.
Okay.
After we exploded it, which is a bit Odd. No, we didn't explode that
No, you
house.
didn't explode
We
it.
ran away from it. No, there was blood
Okay.
everywhere.
So that's where we're heading? Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Is that happening right now?
Yeah. Obviously taking the AK, the M24, and the M2. Obvi.
If when it
And
comes,
when?
if the weapons get used, we'll worry about the stats then. But they are they're pretty good at what they do.
When
Sorry, I
were we
was kinda-
supposed to go and switch on the lights in the tall building? When
Tonight.
were we supposed to do that?
You asking me?
No. Joe answered. He
Yeah,
said it's
tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
I just
okay.
don't know what the consequence of that is going to be.
Probably not as bad as if we did the objective.
I don't know. Demons
shit.
versus really rich guy. 50-50.
I mean, the consequence is we're
I
just
was-
going to have one more person looking for us. We're going to be on Mr. Wild's shit list now. But man, we got machine guns. What are you worried about?
Sorry, I was kind of in and out of that conversation because I was reading all the demons, and this is also a very much a long shot. But one of the demons says called Flauros, Flauros. One of his things, I can't remember if we've read this before, but he gives true answers of all things past, present, and future. It's a super, super long shot. We could try to summon him and have him tell us where the Broad Album is.
That is one freaky looking creature.
Don't like it.
Is it that's
It's a humanoid-
Flaurus? Is that right?
Yeah.
Flowers.
Yeah.
It's like a humanoid mouse creeping around with a worm tail.
Of course, Wenji is all for that, but maybe let's try that if we can't find what we're supposed to at
Right.
Marbus's house.
Well, yeah, obviously go to Marvis's house, but I'm saying it's a long shot if we get, like, we just don't know where to go, but...
The more demons, the merrier.
All right.
You guys are heading back to
Off
Marbus's place?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys do that. You guys head back to his home. I can't really remember where it was located at. That's also not terribly
Next
important.
to the people that wouldn't give me tea.
Right.
We did kill the construct that lives in there, right?
Did you?
No, it ran off into the forest, didn't it?
No.
We
No,
okay.
you guys came back. You guys came
Am I-
back, and you shot it up at the bottom of the staircase.
Okay.
Okay.
As much
Everything's
as I
going
would
together.
have loved for you guys to go back in there and have to fight that thing again, no, you guys have already fought this thing.
Okay. Yeah, we cleared that house because this was like at the sort of end. We found a printing press where he was printing copies of The King in Yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about the woman, the lady in white, that was in the house? We never interacted with her, did we?
That was Ophelia Citri.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
been a while now, but you guys had come to that conclusion.
Yeah. Well, nothing for it. Let's go in. High alert.
You guys make your way towards Barbus's place, which I believe. I'm trying to think of where his place was, because it's just like in kind of like a older neighborhood in near Boston. It's in Medford, so you guys have to drive a little way. As you guys load up in the van, or you're already in the van, you head out. Do you bring enough guns and ammunition to feed said
All of
guns?
it.
Okay.
We take a fucking shovel and just start shoveling ammo into the back of the ambulance. It weighs down and the tires just squashed out.
Yeah. You guys
Fucking sick, dude.
You guys pull the van up into the garage, load stuff in, you head out. It's gonna take you, and I'm gonna say, by the time you get there, it's probably about 5 o'clock. I don't know if that's how far away it is, but that's how far we're saying it is. Anyway, but as that happens, our scene is going to fade out. Fade down on you guys as you are making your way towards Medford. And it's going to fade back up. It's going to fade back up into 2 men sitting in probably like a, what do you call that? One of those government SUVs that they always use, like an Explorer. Like 2 men sitting in a black Ford Explorer. One of them is wearing a bright kind of Hawaiian type shirt, and the other is wearing a little bit more subdued kind of thing, but he has his arm in a sling, and you can tell he has, in the cinematic version, you can tell he has a big bandage underneath it. Again, for the observers of this cinematic experience, you'll definitely be able to recognize these 2 as the men who stormed into Marcus's apartment or hotel room and killed him. One of them is none other than Axel Armstrong, and the other is an unnamed person who you have never seen, or who, in the cinematic version of this, you've seen that he appears to, that he had suffered a bullet wound that Marcus had shot him. They are sitting out in front of the shit. What was the name of that place where you guys, that really rich hotel, that really wealthy or expensive hotel that you guys originally like were staying at?
Oh God.
The Ritz-Carlton. The Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, they're sitting outside in front of the Ritz-Carlton. And as they are sitting here, a woman walks across the street, looking both ways, kind of beelines towards the car, opens the back door and gets in. She says, well, the card is still on file, but no sign of the targets. Looks like they might have gotten wise. And the guy with the bullet wound, he's like we should not have gotten the police involved. They know we're after them. It was a bad fucking idea. Axel speaks up. Ooh, well, we're just doing what higher tells us, aren't we? That's kind of out of our hands. The woman kind of rolls her eyes and she's like, yep, just doing what the man tells us, I suppose. And she kind of leans back and pulls out a phone and starts tapping away on it. She's like, we do have another location, some other hotel, the Boxer here, where they were spotted. Yeah, let's give it a go. Maybe we can figure out where our quarry has absconded to. Ooh. And we see them pull out into the street as we again fade back down and fade back up to...
Fuck.
And fade back up to our...
I had not put together that, Sorry.
Go ahead, no.
I just hadn't put 2 and 2 together that Axel is hunting us, too. Did y'all figure that out?
Yeah.
Oh.
We are hunted. We are hunted by everybody at this point.
Yeah.
The clown even.
Even
looking
clowns.
for us.
You guys pull up... I'm sorry, go ahead.
How dare you turn the best NPC against us? That's all I was going to say. Fuck you very much.
Ooh.
Continue.
He didn't want him to be like a side character NPC that we drag along, so he made our enemy.
I refuse to have you guys make another Pokemon out of one of the characters. Anyway, you guys pull up to Barbara's house in Medford. You pull up, and it very much looks just like you left it. I mean, it's been a little while since you guys have been here. You know, maybe there's even more mail sticking out of the post box. But beyond that, you are fairly certain that, you know, it's about 5 o'clock, kind of people are kind of coming home. There's like kids out on the street and stuff, and you guys can pull up and, you know, you feel like you can pretty innocuously enter the place. You don't know if anyone's really gonna pay much attention. Again, because the house is kind of on the edge of the suburb, or like one side of, and this is like an older kind of housing area, house is a little older. Like on one side of the street is houses, on the other side is basically like light woods.
Do we just assume that we're pretty clandestine at this point?
You can.
I feel like we've been here before.
Well, you haven't, but yes, we have generally.
Do we have any IEDs left?
You certainly do. You certainly still have
One.
You certainly have FBI credentials and jackets and stuff like that.
All right. I'm gonna do alertness. What's changed? Success 29 under 74.
Hank, you're really keeping an eye out. You know, one of the things I think Hank has been very cognizant of since you guys had left. I mean, because you are paranoid now. You do have that. You're not in the middle of a paranoid situation right now, but you look around, you feel like you haven't been followed. You don't, and maybe you guys even like circled the block a time or two, you know, just to make sure that the house itself was not being actively surveilled. It seems very much like everyone is still just kind of living their lives. I will remind you that Benedict has approached 2 of these homes in the past and attempted to speak to their people. Or was it 3? Did you do all 3?
It was 3.
Or is it all 3? Yeah, so you did the back neighbor over the back fence and both neighbors on both sides. But beyond that...
Shitty neighborhood.
Shitty
Unfriendly
neighborhood.
people. Unfriendly.
Unfriendly.
Where's community gone?
Not a lot of
Get a
tea
cup of
drinkers.
tea these days.
Not a lot of tea drinkers.
Just remind me again. So, what did they say about this residence? They just wanted us to go here.
You had asked what you should do, or where you should go to get close to the Broad Alban, and this is where you were pointed.
Okay. All right. Well, do y'all want to try to? Should we all go in at the same time? I have someone sit outside in the van.
No, let's definitely go together, I think.
All
Don't
right.
want to be overcautious, but should we set up an IED in the backyard, like we have in the past?
It's so far it's
Sure.
100% success rate. It's
Sure. Bring one of those just in case. Hank will
So,
just
yeah.
bring his sidearm in with him.
Can we set an IED up in the backyard just like we did last time with a remote control on it? I think it had a wire going to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Are you?
Wendy's setting it up. She's like, I hope no neighborhood children come to play in this backyard.
There's like graffiti on the back of the house. It looks like teenagers come here and smoke.
She stares at it and shrugs her shoulders. It'll probably be fine.
Probably okay. My question here is like, are you going to attempt to obscure your approach to the house or anything? I mean, because this is a neighborhood that has people in it. You know, like the housing, where you guys found the house with the ammunition, the safe house, that's one thing, right?
Right.
This is not that.
Good point. Maybe we should wait till dark.
Yeah, that's probably smart anyway. Like
All
park
right.
away from the house, wait till dark.
Okay. You guys could make a run to a nearby Arby's, fuel up. You know, you need your energy. So we'll say that you guys. We'll say that it's probably full dark by 8 o'clock. Well, it's September, right? So it's probably full dark by 7 o'clock. So we'll go with 7. At 7
All
o'clock, most of the kids who maybe are like riding bikes and stuff, they've kind of headed home. You see lights on in the house. Again, Barb's house, no electricity as far as you can tell, completely dark. Kind of stands out in a way, and that it doesn't stand out. But you feel fairly confident that you can walk up to the house. You know.
Is there like a driveway that's close to the front door?
I think there is.
I'm just
So
thinking
it's just street parking, but you can definitely pull up like as close as you can, like the walkway that goes out to the street.
Thinking rather than be sneaky about where we park, it'd probably be better to be able to make a fast getaway if we need to.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I might be dumb. I think there's a driveway. I think that's on me. It doesn't matter that much. Like you can park decently close.
All right, gentlemen. Here we are again.
This is deja vu.
Yeah.
So locked and loaded. Benedict, do you have the AK-47 or the M24?
I would prefer the AK in this situation.
Yeah, sniper rifle's not going to be
Okay.
super good in this situation.
Bad around corners.
Benji or Wendy is gonna carry it anyway because it's fucking sick.
Okay.
They should.
Just slung across her back like a badass.
If anyone notices
But-
you, they're immediately going to have a problem.
Well, that's why we did it at dark, right?
Fair enough.
All right. Hank brings his shotgun and goes to the door. Tries to open it.
Okay. There's a front door and there's like the back stoop that goes into the kitchen. Are you guys just going to go through the back or right through the front?
Front.
Sure.
Actually,
Wait,
yeah,
surely we
sure.
should go through the way that we set up the IED.
Yes.
As an escape.
Yes. This is the
Yes.
way.
So I'm actually going to bring this back up because we have the blueprint of the house.
Right.
So I'm actually going to make this big again and let me transition this over here. There we go. Let me transition that over. So yeah, you guys set up on the back door. You set up the ID that direction, and you head into the back door. Everything is very much the way you left it. There's still that reeks of oil and gasoline. This is where you originally found the Ch3 phone, the phone that had Ch3's symbol on it that belonged to Michael Whitwer. And you guys begin to make your way through. Right as you leave the kitchen and go into the
Alertness.
alertness
All the way.
Alertness. Okay, let's go.
$34 under 49.
Okay. Anybody else
On
doing
the
one of those?
edge with his AK.
Rolled one. Success 28 under 32.
32. Yeah. You guys, it's all quiet. There's no indication. There's like nothing. Doesn't like anyone's moving around. You can't hear any. Especially Benji with this kind of Carcosian clockworks skill. Like I would say that like you are listening out for that low whirring, that low kind of like barely maintaining whir that some of these machines make. You don't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
You guys exit the kitchen, go down like into the hallway. And that is where, in the hallway there, is where the, is where you guys came into contact with and fought the lion. It is still in a heap. Actually, or I think it might have been blown into one of the bedroom right there. But it still is in pieces. And there's definitely that part of you, Benedict, that kind of...
He kicks it. He kicks it whilst walking past.
Do you remember what fucking
Piece of
happened
shit.
last time? You walked up to something
He
inert,
still kicks
and
it.
you just fucking...
He just
You walk
he
up
kicks
to
it on the way.
You give it a kick, and I imagine like Benedict kicks it, and then like
piece of
and like
shit.
points the AK down
is
at
like-
it. Yeah.
Right.
And it doesn't. It just like it clanks. It doesn't really do anything. It's who is like leading the way here? Would you say?
Heavy hitter, I say.
Hank.
One with the fucking biggest.
Machine gun Hank.
He does not have the machine gun with him.
Oh,
I'm
got a shotgun.
gonna tell you a man cannot carry this thing. Cannot carry and operate it. Like you would traditionally have this thing in a team, I think of 3 or 4 people to operate it.
Wow.
They're
right, in a
insanely
nest.
heavy.
Yeah.
They have a tripod.
Hank has a shotgun, and I guess he's going around first.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. Yeah, you can't just carry these things around. They're massive.
Okay. Save it for a rainy ambush.
Yeah.
It's called a heavy weapon.
Yes, it is a heavy weapon. Yes. So you go around. You sweep through the dining room, where stuff's all stacked up. Still, like all this machinery and like weird engine parts stuff. Hank. You come around and you are initially. I imagine you guys are behind Hank, and Hank peeks around from where the dining room goes into the living room. And Hank, you peek around. You have your weapon out. Maybe you're easing around the corner, and then Hank jerks back around the corner because he saw something. There is something in the middle of the living room, like a big, almost like block of like obsidian. It looks like it is low. It's about like what would it be? It's about like 1.5 feet tall, but like 6 feet long by like 4 feet wide, and it's just this huge black, seemingly stone thing just sitting in the middle of the living room. Was not there before.
Hank's like, hold up, this wasn't here before, and he gets in closer to look at it.
What is it?
You come in like with your gun trained at it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. If Benji can peek around and take a glance at it, can I roll an occult?
Roll me a Carcosian Clockworks.
Ah, okay. What is that? Fuck me. I always fail the interesting ones. 46 over 37.
I would say that immediately you get the impression that this is some type of construct. But you have no idea what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, don't hit it. Don't hit it.
Extremely careful. This could be life and death.
Hank,
Well, Hank won't get too close. Like he won't get like within touching distance of it, but close enough to look like, is this like a solid, smooth piece of like block, or are there etchings on it?
You ease up there and you see, and you guys have to have flashlights or something in here because it's dark. You see that there is, it appears that in the top of this thing are like slits. Like there appear to be little slots all throughout it, very intricately and very well worked in, like almost impossible. Like if you had not specifically said that, like if you weren't really looking for engravings or slots or something, you would not have seen it. Like it's very, very well done. It's masterfully crafted, whatever it is. Yeah.
Slits as in holes, or like scrape marks?
Like holes that appear to go down into it. Like
So
slots. Like long
presumably-
slots. Yeah.
Okay, so it might be hollow.
It is a Carcosian mailbox.
You just stick your letters to the King in Yellow in there, and he asking for toys, and he.
I say we go around and look around the house some more before we clear the rest of the rooms before we tackle whatever this is.
Yes, we should look for stuff to put in the slots.
You guys want to like
Yeah, Hank wants
have
to
a
like
wide berth around this thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Wenji's
know.
curious about the...
Benedict.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Benedict is gonna probably be super suspicious about this thing and maybe stay here and probably even go and get the IED and bring it inside.
Just set it right by it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Not a bad idea.
not a bad idea. Benedict comes in and runs the wire back through the dining room, through your egress way, and just really sits this thing pointed right at this giant block. Like imagine like kind of like the monolith from Space Odyssey, but like laying down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's as opposed to being standing up.
Maybe put some barriers, like blast barriers or something.
Well, if
For
you had
cover.
those, yes. You guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. You guys go through the rest of the house and clear it. Everything looks exactly as you left it.
What about the red door? You remember that?
Ooh, you mean the red door that you guys never came back to?
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
We did open it, right? It was like a laundry chute that went down into the night floors, or is that a different thing?
That was a different thing. I think you guys had seen it. It was like it had this little slot in it that looks like it was just kind of large enough. You know, and there's a box of those, an empty box of these, what holds these copies of the King in Yellow there. There is...
Oh.
You'd gotten the idea that someone's probably sliding these little doors down, or these books down through there.
How about the slits in the obsidian construct thing? Do those look King in Yellow shaped?
No, they're far too narrow for that.
Okay.
Is Benji like craning over this thing, like getting a real good eyeful?
Yeah. He's just wondering what activates it. Blood? Should we slit our wrists and poureth the blood upon the obsidian?
That's a big jump. And logic.
This is Wendy's shit, man. She knows about all these occult rituals.
Yeah.
They usually involve one bodily fluid or another.
So basically, there's nothing really changed in the room.
All right.
I think you guys had posited the red door led to the bookshop because you guys had heard through the door some talkings from rumblings of the bookshop.
Just to be clear,
I would-
when she does look at it, and the red door is still the same, nothing
Still the
different.
same. Yeah.
Okay.
I would prefer to explore the red door, honestly, compared to dealing with this thing right now.
Yeah. The red door.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Why?
He asked the
It's a
man
good
with the
question.
scar on his neck.
Yeah, there's that. And also just, it seems like the man in the bookshop, he seemed to be friendly to us. And it'd be good to have an ally.
Do you think the man in the bookshop would have any insight on how to find the Hotel Broad Albin?
He seemed to know. He seemed to know a lot of things, and he helped us. Yeah, aside from distributing the King in Yellow.
I seem to remember the whole reason that we wound up at the bookshop in the first place is because we were looking for the Hotel Broad Albin, and he couldn't give us any information.
I just want to hear his accent again, honestly, and I want to hear
That's
it
fair enough.
consistent
Fair
with the
enough,
first
Benedict.
version. You know?
Yes, I support this.
Benedict has a brain aneurysm. He dies. Well, what are you guys gonna do?
I want to figure out what the fuck this construct does. Can I roll?
I will ask you a simple question. Do you touch it?
When she reaches out her hand and looks back at Hank and Benedict. Huh?
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 He's just got his finger on the IED. Just like
And
doesn't even care that you're next
yeah,
to
and
it.
Benji will be obliterated if you do that.
Before you touch it, look and see if you can see anything when you shine the light into the slits.
Okay. Yeah.
When she does that.
You can do that. You shine a light down in there, and you see that there is something down in there. It looks like roll me a D100.
D100. That is a 29.
You see a tiny little cutout. Like it looks like a little piece of paper on like a little stick. Like almost like a little old school, like almost like a shadow puppet, maybe, or something like that. That appears to be in the shape of a person.
I see this at like the bottom of the.
You shine the light down there, and there is like you can barely make it out, like 'cause it's very thin. Like there's not like a lot of room to look around, but you can see just like you can very vaguely make out. It's like looks like there's like a little cutout in here, like maybe in the shape of a person.
There appears to be a paper doll on a stick. Does that mean anything to either of you?
That means nothing, but I'm not surprised.
When she touches it.
Okay. Wenji reaches out and touches. As soon as you do, there is a whirring sound.
Oh no!
And then a click, and then a tiny little jingle of a music box, as up from the slots down on one end appears a little paper cutout of none other than Benji Potts. And
What?
it's just like a little cutout of him. It's like all colored in, and it just kind of bobs up and down like little Benji is walking. And we see little Benji go, and then there's something you guys all are now familiar with. You see Benji come in contact, and another one of these little curios jumps up. It's Wendy Wright. We see Benji go up and talk to Wendy Wright, and like they're just kind of bobbing, and there's just a little jingle going on. And we see Benji, like this little, very short illustration of everything that Benji has done, basically since he had the encounter at the crossroads. He goes throughout his life, and then eventually we see Benji bumping up against, and then 3 other very familiar images come up. Benedict, Hank, and Marcus. They pop up. They seem to have a little confab. Marcus goes down, and then they approach, and then a big curio pops up. The McAllister building. We see Benji enter the McAllister building with these other 2, but Benji seems to be the focus of it. This little story recounts everything that Benji has gone through. And it even then shows, and you guys are very surprised to see then Benji loading up in a van with these 2 and approaching this house and finding this thing.
Get back, Benji. I don't want to see what happens at the end of the story. Just get back behind these
You
doors.
know what to do, Benedict, if the worst should happen.
After this, it appears that there are, like, as Benji and company go through this whole story, along the periphery you notice these images that kind of pop up. Maybe they halfway pop up, kind of here and there. Now they kind of start to look like they're popping up and maybe almost beginning to vaguely converge on these 3. They're images of these trench-coated, gas mask wearing, shotgun wielding images. And they begin to kind of hop and walk toward them as Benji and Co.'s characters begin to bounce quicker, expressing a sense of rushing
Urgency.
and urgency. And then another figure comes up in front of Benji. It is a figure that towers over the rest of you. It has golden robes and a crown and a white mask. And as it seems to be almost leading the way for Benji and Co. as they... I love the idea that he whispers that. It seems to be leading the way, and as the king... And the king does not bounce as it walks, it just glides evenly as it begins to make its way. And we see some of the little trench-coated figures. We see, and even there are these little pops, like pop, pop from inside the machine, like little pop rocks. And we see some of these images go down and then are replaced by new trench-coated images as they are chasing our team. And then as the king leads its way, Benji, Hank, and Benedict trailing in its presence. It seems that the world itself is building around the king. And the last thing that pops at the end is a hotel with big B's on the doors. As the doors open and our little curios bounce inside. And then the whole thing recedes back down, and there's a click as the music stops.
Well, that was a waste of time. It's like
I
5
like
hours
that-
later.
It didn't
All
take
the
that long. Like
characters-
it was all very quick. It probably took less than 5 minutes for it to run through everything.
Hank kind of paranoid looks out the window to see if he sees any people in trench coats.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I have no idea why you would do that.
All the characters were alive at the end, so that seems optimistic. I like the story.
That's who knows. Keep in mind, it might be limitations of Joe's ability to project what's gonna fucking happen. So
Nope, we're gonna hold you to
let's
it.
just keep that in mind. So yeah, you know, give me that alertness check.
I'll roll one too. I mean, we
Everybody.
didn't learn
So
anything about the location, did we? Success for Benji, 13 under 32.
Any other ones?
Nope. Failed.
Failures.
Okay. Maybe Wenji walks to the front door, or walks to the front window and looks out. Remember how I did say that there was that wooded area across the street?
Mm-hmm.
You see, you just are barely able to make out, skulking through the underbrush. Standing at a long distance and barely kind of moving side to side, almost shuffling on its feet, you see a humanoid figure that is just barely silhouetted by a tiny little sliver of moonlight. And as it turns its head, you see that it is wearing a gas mask. And it seems to turn its head, and you see another one step out of the darkness into the moonbeam. They seem to say something. Both heads turn towards Marbs' house, and then they step back away from the light and disappear. And that, my friends,
Damn.
it's probably a good place to stop. Do you have something, Dace?
No. Just, we're being watched.
Yeah.
Benedict pulls the trigger on the IED.
I love the idea that Hank and Benji are just decimated, like just vaporized.
Benedict, we're being watched.
Do it. No, like
Game over.
I imagine the explosion goes off, and somewhere in a Ford Explorer, with the window rolled down, smoking a cigarette, Axel Armstrong just goes, "My baby." Anyway,
No, none of that happens.
none of that happens. Yeah. Well, guys, nice. I like that. That's a good
Yeah.
place to end. Yeah.
Fun couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Well, everyone listening, everyone watching, as always, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're loved that you can go on this ride. I'm really curious at some point in time, like, I would love to have an opportunity to, like, talk to people who are watching to see, like, kind of, like, what their take is off of, like, you know, like, what they think's going on. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe that's a good... Hey, if you got an idea and you want to share what you think is actually happening, if you haven't read the campaign, I don't want to hear from those who know what's happening because they've read it. Maybe hit us up on Reddit. You know, we'd love to hear kind of what your theories are for these guys.
Reddit, or
You
we could
guys-
start a community Discord or something.
We should do that. That is something we have talked about. Beyond that, hey, check out down in the description if you're listening and you like what you listen to. Leave us a like on. I think YouTube Music is replacing Google Podcast now. So like on YouTube Music, on Spotify, on Apple, or wherever you're
Yeah.
listening, we really appreciate it. It really helps kind of get us out there. If you like what you hear, you want to get it a week early, consider the Patreon. It's $3 a month. You buy us a cup of coffee, and it we are going to get that mic and mic stand for Jean at some juncture.
It's coming soon.
So, but yeah. But beyond that, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Joe.
Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I look forward to next time. We might be doing. We're gonna see how it goes. We might be doing Reverberations next time. Another episode of Reverberations. Is Brad allowed?
Is Brad game? Are you?
Is Brad?
Are you? He's
no,
allowed.
no, I'm not. Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down.
Is Brad okay? Well,
Sweet.
you need to find a narratively appropriate way to write him in.
I think I've got ideas. We can chat.
Okay.
We can chat in advance and
Yes.
with clear comms. Yes.
Well, without
Brad, what if your character was a stripper?
why?
It is a stripper.
Okay.
Isn't that a bit close to home though? What?
Write what you know.
Right, what you know. But yeah. But all right, yeah, so you might be hearing some reverb next time. So I'm looking forward to that, if we could do it. But otherwise, guys, again, thank you very much. And everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. And remember, stay safe and stay sane. Bye.
Later.
Right?